Hello everyone and welcome to the Ubuntu Touch Q&A number 141, streamed live on May the 25th, 2024. Tonight with me is Alfred.
Hello.
And I'm happy to serve you. Without further ado, maybe you want to share some news?
Totally. So what we do have here on GitLab over the last 2 weeks happening, where a few things regarding some more enablement for making sure that all the Lumiri components slowly get pulled into Debian. And for that, things needed to be renamed again. So Lumiri indicator transfer used to be called indicator transfer. And it's one of the components. It's also a few patches to Lumiri session, enabling tests on Noble for a few components that we use to track processes. For example, process CPP is now buildable on Noble, and modernizing some packaging. Also importing some of the Ayatana indicators and making sure that the most recent ones are imported into the archive. Also, what we do have is some change to Lumiri Download Manager that enables newer APIs to do AppArmor checks, so to say, where AppArmor gets used to, for example, AppArmor is one of the key components for Ubuntu Touch, for those who don't know, that enables sandboxing on Ubuntu Touch and enables a few key security features. And one of them is Lumiri Download Manager now using newer APIs for dbus to acknowledge whether an application is what it says it is, so to say, and allows to figure out whether the target application is actually allowed to access the APIs here over dbus for Lumiri Download Manager. And also, indicator transfer was one of the renamed things. Lumiri Telephony Service is another thing that has been renamed. What do we have else here?
Yeah, and we have to rename things for the Debian packaging because they want to be clear and avoid any conflict with another OS or another contributor that has the same name. Yeah. So we have to have our own. So we rename them with Lumiri. So it's Lumiri related. So we know it's ours.
Yes, exactly. For example, for Debian specifically, the naming for many of the Ubuntu Touch components is very generic in the sense that it could be mistaken, as aptly very validly says here. And it's the reason why we need to rename a lot of components every now and then to make sure that they are allowed to be imported into other distributions. Yeah.
So make Lumiri available for everyone.
Exactly. So what else do we have here? That was 1 week ago. Then also display and sync icon warning when an error occurred during sync process that is connected to the calendar app. Then rotate relevant UI controls when with locked screen orientation, also with Lumiri camera app. Updates to the camera app's dependencies like exif v2 and barcode reader translation for the desktop file. Other things that for example, also merged now is something for AppArmor EasyProf, which is basically our set of templates that basically sets up the sandbox for applications installed from the open store. And one of them is allowing Pocket VMs as one example app, but all of them basically that want to access OpenGL drivers of the device to also work on the PineTab 2, where the PineTab 2 needs a specific one-liner added to the policies where the Meso driver can then determine whether this, which basically device this pertains to. So overall, in a nutshell, it allows the OpenGL driver for Mesa to work more properly in open store apps. For example, Pocket
Mhm.
VMs, which then allows the Pocket VMs QEMU window to really run with accelerated OpenGL on the device, which makes it very usable as a development tool then.
Yeah.
And yeah, what else do we have here? Updated 2 weeks ago. There's a lot of things happening. There's also one particular thing I want to mention, and that is with the work by Mike and Guido and Lionel and others who are working on some contacts stuff with the contacts backend story that we've talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Not today, or tonight, but
Mm.
in the last episode, where it is necessary for us to change the way that contacts are stored and synchronized, so we
Mm.
can re-enable features like Nextcloud synchronization. And for that, there are a few changes required, including telling packaging for SQLite, which is a database software, a very tiny local database solution, so to say, for those who don't know. And it needs the ICU extension enabled, which isn't enabled in Debian or Ubuntu 24.04 by default. I'm not really sure how they've progressed, but there is a solution for now that allows the ICU
Okay.
internationalization components to basically allow, let's say, searching for contacts with umlauts or other letters that are not within the 26 of the English alphabet,
Mm.
and other things that make it more usable, so that searching contacts works better also, or works at least as good as it does now, and a few other things that need to be implemented and pulled together out of nothing, so to say. But it will allow us to make sure that the contacts synchronization story is becoming better, and in the long run, midterm, so to say.
Yeah.
And
And many people are waiting for this because it's a recurring question on the forum about how can I sync my contacts with my phone. So yeah,
mm,
that's
um,
uh, that's work in progress. That progress has been made. So that's a great thing. And
yeah,
yeah.
I also see a change that has been merged for a future feature for Lemuri itself, to basically allow switching the shell instead of applications to the light mode, light theme, and have basically mixing or basically assigning the same coloring to both applications and the shell, so that everything
Mm.
is light or dark, or mixing them in a way that is like preferred by the user. I don't know.
Yeah.
How about you? How would you like to set
I
the
keep
modes?
my phone vanilla. I
Oh, nice.
set it. Yeah. I kept the same background screen. I set it to. I'll let it to be clear.
Mm,
So yeah, I not messing around with the settings because yeah, when I do tinker with my phones and I have to reset it, and I don't want to really do all the settings.
well, I on the other hand, I really like I had a
Dark
collection
mode.
of a collection of multiple backgrounds, like gigabytes of backgrounds, uh, where I would just randomly select a different wallpaper for my desktop, for my Linux laptop. And I think I've lost most of them, but maybe there is on another drive. I'm not sure. but I probably would take a very nice mix of light um, shell theme and light or default application theme and see what happens then. I think this looks the most interesting to me personally, but I can't wait until people out there get their hands on it and can try it themselves.
Yeah, yeah, because a lot of people want the customization. So yeah, that would be a great thing also.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I think that's about it for the biggest things that have happened during the course of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, oh, and Fuse Team has a very interesting comment here. In before you take a color from the wallpaper, looking ahead to the future, it seems. I don't know. I thought about it as well, and I would like to have something like this. I don't know.
Yeah, like uh, I don't know if they still do that, but some TV from I think Philips
Mhm.
had the lighting modified depending
Oh
on what
yeah,
your screen is showing.
right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if you see a dark movie, the color will be darker. If you see
Yeah.
something colorful like a Barbie, you will have something pink on the walls. So yeah, something like this. But it's endless. Customization is endless.
Yeah. Actually, before Lumiri, the Unity 7 shell, excuse me, also had some default coloring based on the background, based on the most predominantly colored parts of the wallpaper. They chose
Yeah.
that color as the one behind the blur and the launcher and top bar when
Oh,
opening the dash. So it would be
that was
cool
the
to
trick.
re-implement this. I don't know
Yeah.
if someone wants
Yeah.
to do it. Just go ahead and do it. I think so. But yeah, that's about it for the news this week. Shall we head over to the experiments?
Yeah, I have something I wanted to showcase and see if you have some feedback that you can give because I think that's something that can help some people that are not developers or used to Git environment. And it's a way for a regular user to report issues on Ubuntu Touch. And so I created an app. It's not yet on the open store. I want it to be more feature complete for it to reach the open store. But I wanted to showcase and show you a little demo. I cannot add it to the show, so if you
But I
please.
can't do this.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Oh yeah.
So this is, yeah, the app is able to keep in memory a list of issue you have created, and it's related to a bot that will post the issue for you. So if you don't have a GitLab account, then the bot will do this for you. So it's really easy. Here you see what you can, the detail you want to show from the issue. And when you swipe from the bottom, you can add a new one. So you can select at the moment between three projects. This is something I need to improve. And so I think that's the demo.
Mhm.
The demo is just creating an issue for improving how the project names appears. And so after typing the title and the description, then you just press OK, and it's sent it to GitLab. This works only for GitLab. If we have some project on GitHub, I think we have some remaining, but I'm not sure.
Mhm.
So this works only on GitLab, but yeah, it works. It does the job, but I need some insight from people about what is necessary, what are the requirements for it to be useful for everyone. Because as a developer, I don't have the same use cases. I already plan on displaying comments, being able to update the issue, stuff like this. But yeah, And here you see that after the blur, we when you swipe from the right. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. When you swipe from the right and tap the edit button, then you have the view refreshed in real time. So it picks information from GitLab, and so it shows the upvote that I did between the two takes of the video.
Looks
Yeah.
very, very nice. And I think this is something that we've been looking forward to for a long time because people have a hard time reporting bugs. With that, though, they might be able to make that very easy and get a very easy experience of reporting issues to Ubuntu Touch and apps and stuff like that, and making sure that we can improve on things that need to be improved.
Yeah, that's the goal, making Ubuntu Touch easier for non-technical persons. So yeah, hopefully it will find its public and people will find it useful. So I need to add some more features to make it at least basically usable for everyone. And when it's complete enough, I will put it on the open store. And yeah, don't hesitate also to create issue for this project with it, because that will be helpful. And yeah, so the list is stored locally, so you only have the list of what you have created yourself on this device. And yeah, and hopefully we can in the future show the comments and answer them. Maybe have notification when, but I'm not really hopeful for it. But if the app is launched, maybe have some notification about, yeah, you have new comments on this issue. Maybe you want to answer them to help the developer out.
Well, yeah, sounds really cool, and I'm looking forward to playing with that. So let's see where it goes.
Yeah. For the moment,
Yeah.
if you want to be on the alpha testing group, maybe you can just ping me on Telegram, and I will see what I can do, because I think I will have the need for some testers. I already have one, but I want more.
All right. I think that's about it for the experience, right?
Yeah, that's it. Now maybe we can give an update on what has been new on the Open Store, actually,
Oh yeah, totally.
because
Uh,
it
I
has
will
been
pull your
busy.
screen. I will put your screen into the stage real quick.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah. So the first one was the activity tracker, because we talked about the bookworm last time, I think. Or no,
That's actually
it's
in the
time
list.
tracker. It's time tracker.
There we go.
I'm not good.
Trackers.
The last time was the YouTube music, but actually this one was updated after, but because we discussed it last time and it was updated maybe on the same day, let's go directly to the time tracker. I think this app is quite neat. I enjoy the UI.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure we already demoed it on the show, but I saw probably it just after the show, because it was released maybe the next day or something like that. And it allows you to say, okay, yeah, I start to work at this time and I worked until this time of the day. And so you can track diverse activities. Yeah, that's pretty neat. The UI is very pleasing, I feel. And so, yeah, quite useful if you want to track your activity throughout the day or throughout the week. You can see here you have the week, the month, and infinite time. So since you installed the app, so you can see, okay, this week I worked 4.6 hours on Ubuntu Touch. That's the same during the month, because they probably started when they started showing the app. So yeah, so that's really interesting and
Oh yeah.
quite useful, I guess. Yeah. So thanks, Matthias, for this great app. And, I think it. Then we have the bookworm. We already talked about it earlier. Yeah, it was with Marius, I remember, because
Yeah.
he I didn't find I didn't read properly. So it's about the Bible. So it's a study of the Bible, the the book about God and stuff. So by
That's
Western
how
world,
every Catholic would call it, the book about God and stuff.
yeah, that's how I call it. There are other books about God and stuff, but this one is about one of them, or maybe two if you count the diverse version of uh, the Jew thing and then the other one Christian and stuff.
Not bad.
I'm not good with religion, but I don't mind them. We also have an update on the activity tracker. Uh, this app I use a lot, so thank you, Daniel, for it. What did it fix? It fixed some bug, added more Thunder Forest maps. Okay, great. So yeah, new look and feel, improved things. Wow. Yeah, for my next trip, I will have it with me because that's really interesting. And I love having
Yeah.
my tracks and see where I went. So, for example, when I'm in a city for vacation, uh, at the end of the day, I look at my track and I see where I went and what location I avoided. And so maybe the next day I will try to see the things I couldn't see the previous day. So yeah, really useful. We have also an update on mileage that allows you to compute your consumption of gasoline or damn, gasol. No, this is gasoline. Oil. Yeah, I think something like this.
Yeah,
I
we're not English car owners, so don't hit us with a fish in the face, please.
Yeah, mine is computed in watts. So so yeah, this one you can pronounce the name by sender.
Uh, Wegwijs. If that's,
Thank you.
I'm trying to get my Dutch up on par with you.
Wegwijs. I don't know if I'm able to pronounce it correctly one day.
Not to be
But yeah,
confused with the German Brechreiz.
it's the same for me. Sorry. But I won't talk French today because that's probably Chinese for you. So yeah, new features introduce modular support for fuel and traffic providers. That's great. INWB, I don't think that's something I know about, but that's preferably something the Dutch use to monitor traffic and fuel. Something the government do or a consortium maybe. So great, new update on this app that has been proven useful by my Dutch friends.
Oh yeah.
All of them from UBports. I also updated domotics. I fixed a bug that bugged me. It was about the size of the UI because most of the icons, not the temperature one, but most of the icons were just the left side was just not showing properly, and also maybe the right side of on the right side. So this sizing bugged me a little, so I fixed it, and now it's better. Already downloaded 4 times, so thank you, my 3 other users. um, then you updated a lot of apps. Can you talk
Oh yeah.
about it?
Yeah, sure. So, screen recorder. I have updated screen recorder now with two contributions and another little fix up that I made myself. And that is, first of all, thanks to Kuchi for providing a fix for um, delaying the recording, the start of a recording, until the application is swiped away and another application is focused.
Yeah, I
And
tested it just for my UBport demonstration, and it works great. I was surprised. I said, "Yeah, but I don't have to edit the beginning. So what do I do
yeah,
with my editor?"
it will also start recording as soon as it's unfocused. So when you drag down the notification shade or the indicators, it will do the same, so that you don't miss any of the important things you want to record. So it works pretty well, and it also, the big one, and this little bug fix comes in very handy now for the next two applications, is recording the external or virtual wired or wireless monitors. And with that,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Put it
totally.
here, first and secondary display. Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
interesting for people who have an external display.
Yeah. So
And
the next one, Node.js, is a new little thing that I put there. Yes, you heard that right. It's Node.js for Ubuntu Touch. And I've actually recorded a little demonstration here. Let me see if I can pull this into the stage while there is also the thing on the. There we go. This is a little Node.js JavaScript example that I just copied randomly out of the internet. Here we see npm not working at the moment because it's not been enabled. Enable it. The check bars go on, and you can then install with npm some package from the npm repository, quote unquote, and from the index. Then you can, with Node, run this little example app. It listens on localhost 3000, and we refresh the web browser, and it shows the hello world there. So you can do actual JavaScript development with your Ubuntu Touch device now. And this one was recorded with the Pixel 3a wirelessly connected to the external monitor. So
yeah,
TV screen, I was sitting in front of my TV screen with Bluetooth or USB-C wireless keyboard and trackpad, and it works pretty
yeah,
well. So it is just a little demonstration, because there have been so many people out there who want Node.js on their devices to develop on the go, but they don't know how to get it other than from apt. And now you don't need apt anymore. It's
yeah.
Node.js 22.2.0, which is the most recent release out there. And you can just install it from the open store. You enable it from the GUI, and that's it.
So that's great for people using Node.js to develop. So yeah,
Yeah,
and there are a lot of them. And we have
exactly.
another development tool. So
Same
yeah,
idea applies here. It's development tools, and this one ships many of the usual suspects for debugging tools. So we have GDB, we have strace, we have valgrind, and we have a little logcat script where
yeah,
it will show you the logs of the Halium container as well, so that you can easily debug issues that happen on the Halium side as well. Installing it from the open store, enabling it by pressing a button. It doesn't require your password, but it will set up a symlink to the correct commands within your home directory, so that it is enabled just for that user. And I also have a demo here, which is this one.
yeah.
So we have Ghost Cloud Photo Backup as an example app, where you can tell which GDB doesn't necessarily show the GDB tool being available right now. Let's enable it. Checkboxes turn green. Then it is available. And just by entering a little GDB command here, we can connect to the photo backup process and actually debug the thing correctly, properly, without requiring to remount the rootfs read writable, just to get your debugging tools on the device. And it works pretty well. I've updated it since recording this little video, because you can see some GDB Python errors. Those are fixed now, and it really gets the thing across with debugging the thing on the device directly. without requiring you to remount or change the rootfs
Yeah.
of the immutable file system that we're so proud of. Yeah. And also, if there are more tools that people see as necessary here, feel free to propose a pull request on GitHub. It's linked in the open store page, on the listing page. And maybe we can pull in some additional tools as well for developers to do their debugging and development with.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great because at the moment I'm debugging mostly with what is called traces. Yeah. So I'm just connecting with my clickable logs and just seeing my traces and trying to understand things. But yeah, most of my apps also are very simple and almost QML only.
Mm,
I had
yeah.
to add C++ to domotics to handle the exception for the locally signed HTTPS connection with your domotic server.
Mm.
Because this error is not catched by the QML thing. Or at least I didn't know how to overcome it at the time.
Yeah, but there we go. So a few little additional things now for developers out there who want to make use of the device as a development machine. And I remember on the Jingpads, in the Jingpad group on Telegram, people have been very often asking for things like Node.js. Now it's possible. And it should also give you a hint on how to package your most favorite development tool for accessibility in Ubuntu Touch from within the CLI as well. Just package all the tools that are required into the click, make a little launcher script, symlink that one from the home directory /.local/bin, and you're done. So I will potentially release also a little template for the GUI part where you can just press the enable button, and so that people can enable it and include it easily in their own little development tools that they want to ship over the open store for CLI tools. But it's not there yet. Maybe I will do it. I'm not promising anything right there, but this is a great example of how you can do it on Ubuntu Touch right now.
Yeah, so that's great. We had also a nice lot of new apps or updated apps on the open store. So thanks all the contributors, maintainers, developers. But let's not only thank the developers and maintainers because we have also sponsors.
Exactly. So, first and foremost, we do take donations for the UBports Foundation at ubiports.com/donate. And there you can see all the various ways that you can donate to us financially. And let's start with the sponsors here. We have Smooth, Voila, Pine64, Private Internet Access, DigitalOcean, GitLab, OneStein, OCA, Gardner and Associates Consulting Inc., Netlify, Cloudrun, Code Luton, Tixia, and Gandhi.net as sponsors. So thanks a lot to the sponsors helping us out with resources that we require. And I think it's time for butchering the names again. What do you think?
Yeah, it's quick butchering.
Okay, so let's see. Those are the patrons. And let's start with them. Just getting my throat ready. A. Thiel, Asmund Kaupang, Boris Flowers, Daniel Franzak, David Thiel, JT Brooks, Josie Angel Escuda, Keyboards Holding, Kenneth Drew, Linus Rune, Lothar Ketterer, Mike Adamides, Marco A., Michael Kellner, Peter Mack, Philippe Speicher, Rakesh PK, Robert Haley, Robin Hood, Rudy Arudi, Spendierhose, Stefan Kalb, Stephen Granger, Thoralf Sun and Sabine Schwarzer, and Will Atwood. What a list! It's getting longer and longer, and pretty impressive by now how many patrons we have. But thanks a lot to the patrons as well, donating to us and making sure that this thing works. So
Yeah.
thank you for
So
your
yeah,
support.
thank you everyone. And you can also help us by contributing to non-technical things as well. So don't hesitate to go to the join button to join the community and see if you want to help for testing or organization or stuff like this. We just are in the process of the elections for the new board of directors. So we will have some news on the next Q&A, I think.
Mhm.
So yeah, and maybe the new board of director will want to share some words for the future. I don't know. We will ask them and see how it goes. For the first question, I want to take the one from Justin, just the last one on the comment list.
Oh, wait a second. There we go.
Yeah,
This
not the last
second.
one, the one just before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first you guessed that your apps will be unconfined, and yes, it is.
Yes, it's unconfined for the reason of creating the symlinks in the home directory. They're not system-wide, just in the home directory, just in a little directory that is in the path of executable commands within the terminal already. It just creates the directory if it's not there, adds the symlink to the root-owned or root-installed commands that are part of the click, and then it just does nothing else. That's everything it does. Also, due to the way that it runs from within the terminal, and it's doing confinement not from within, Lomiri app launch, where you just tap an icon from within Lomiri, but it will run in the app armor sandbox of the terminal, which means you have pretty much full access to the whole system, which might be required for GDB. I will probably try to figure out a way to just have some additional sandboxing the in the commands for Node, so that those don't necessarily run all over your rootfs. But that's about it. And yeah, good question.
Yeah. And so the first one is not from the forum. I cheated.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. But I saw this question on the forum, yeah, but not on the regular one, on the post for the Q&A. It's from German ASIAC that says, why do Ubuntu Touch updates not have changelog automatically generated? How to understand what has changed after update and how to test it if there is no information. And yeah, this is something that has been already answered on the previous Q&A because I was watching it. And yeah, that's a good question. It's a lot of work to create a changelog. But if you want, you can have all the merge requests that has been accepted. You can search from all the Git commits comments. That's not really practical. So as I think Nigel answered on the forum, we have a blog post at the moment that summarize what has been done for the next OTA. But yeah, I understand that a changelog or something close to it would be interesting for the Devil channel. What's your opinion?
So I think we had something like this in the past, and we had something along the lines of not from the development channel and everything, but we had something to fetch, or we do still have some code to fetch changes from inside of Lomiri, and with that, I think some of those pieces have been removed. They might need to be revived. I'm not necessarily sure about that, but those things should be automated, and we shouldn't waste time and effort for every daily build, so to say, to rewrite the change log here and there, because it doesn't make much sense there.
Yeah,
And yeah, but if someone wants to take on the task of automating this and making it integrated into the OS some way, shape, or form, or maybe make an app so that you can tell which changes have been merged into GitLab between two dates. That's totally doable to be made on the Open Store as an app.
yeah. And also, at the moment, I think GitLab is not clean enough. Let's say it like this.
Mm,
Rachanen told me that the labels were a bit messy at the moment, but we are working. He is mostly working on it and trying to organize things better on the GitLab account. So yeah, I think we have to make things better, try to organize things a bit more, and
mm.
then it will be possible easier to make it an automation for creating the change logs.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, do we want to take the next question? Should I take this one?
Yeah,
So Stanwood asks, a lot of new exciting improvements have been made in many domains those last 3 months, thanks to the amazing development team and community. So, just to be curious, is there an OTA 5 somewhere around the corner? Yes, there will be a focal OTA. We want to remove it very soon, as basically the last, or hopefully the last, release based on Ubuntu 2004 before we switch over to 2404 Noble. And we want to include a few things that just round up the whole package. Just small changes here and there. I do hope that my changes to Reparty and also the ones that Rachanan has improved on for Reparty to, for example, while pressing the touch screen, it would on the Pixel 3a ramp up the number of available CPU cores to the maximum number. Wait 3 seconds, and then after 3 seconds, it would go down to the default again. So the default being 4, maximum being 8, and that should help you prevent waste of battery while having the device just laying flat on the table, but also ramp up the CPU cores while touching the thing and getting fluid animations anyhow in all cases, so that you can put those cores to use. I hope this one gets in, but other than that, just tiny little fixes with the cancel buttons getting slightly lighter in coloring, and a little bit of improvements to whatever we have merged into Focal since the last OTA. Newer Waydroid pieces, I think, are also in there. So we don't want to overdo it with Focal changes now. We want to focus on, or Rachanan and others in the team want to focus on bringing up the Focal, bringing Focal up to Noble
to Noble.
24,
Yeah.
so that we can release this as soon as possible. There's still no bootable images, but as soon as there are bootable images available, we will let you know.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, no, we will circle back to this in the future. We have also the deafened guy who asks 3 questions. The first one being, are there plans to add support to group chats? How they would work on Android and iPhone. Right now on UT, it's just so you can mass send a message to multiple people to the message app. So I think they are talking about the RCS. So I don't remember the acronym, but the communication system, which is also known as SMS Plus or Messaging Plus or newer or something like that.
Yeah, basically,
Um,
the successor to MMS, if you will.
Yeah, so this is intended to be a newer version of the SMS. We have some companies like Google that added end-to-end encryption also to it, and I think that's something really important for an upcoming, let's say, standard, but not sure it's open source. But I heard at some point we had some news about RCS, but I didn't hear much about it recently.
Not sure about that
Uh,
either.
yeah,
No.
so hopefully when 5G and LTE will be there, that's something that we can look into because
Yeah.
like every time, it's a lot of proprietary thing that has been added to some standard protocol, and even the standard protocol, I don't think it's open sourced, so it has to be hacked in some way, at least from the things I could read. But yeah, I'm not very proficient in RCS technology, so hopefully some. But I know some people interested in VOLT had also some interest in RCS because that's from them that I heard things.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when 5G and VOLT is there, we have people able to search about it.
Yeah. Maybe, just in, maybe we will get someone answering this question real soon. For now, I will just take one question from WBPKM, and that is an alpha or beta version of the new browser application in a click available somewhere? No, it's not necessarily publicly available. I have sent a few clicks to select a few people because there is no reason for me to push a premature click package to the public, and just so that public people can play around with something new. It would totally overwhelm me for no reason at all, and you won't get a properly working browser anyhow. So in that sense, it doesn't make sense. But if you want to play with it, you can download it from GitHub. You can compile the code yourself. Make sure to recursively clone the thing because it includes a bunch of libraries in there. And it will take some hours for you to finish it. And also, you currently need an ARM64 laptop or server or something to compile the thing because there are some dependency issues inside of apt pulling in the correct libraries into the clickable container. So it is a bummer, but it is what it is. But yeah, you can definitely compile the thing if you want and toy around with it already, and it's just not finished or usable by any stretch of the imagination at the moment. So what else do we have? We have another question.
Yeah,
Two questions.
another question from the deafened guy. The second one is: are there any plans to add the ability to edit network settings of a saved Wi-Fi? There are no settings to edit from within the setting app, and yeah.
Well, there are no plans at all because we wait for others to come, not only come up with wishes, but also propose solutions as code. So we probably won't be able to implement something like editing your network manager settings from within the system settings just yet because we are busy with other things already. So no, there's no plan at all at the moment. But I'm sure if someone made the code available to us, proposed it as a merge request on GitLab so that we can take a look at this and merge it when it's ready, that would be the optimal solution. If it should be the default solution, if you ask me, but it's not there. But if you find time to do so, please make sure that it works and propose the patches to us.
Yeah. So it's a bummer at the moment, but it's not a big deal to just delete it and then just create a new one.
This is
That's the workaround.
Justin, our correspondent from Norway has arrived.
Oh,
Hello.
I
hello,
give you 12
Marius.
points.
Oh, you're C minus minus. You're not cute anymore.
No, I'm just C minus minus this time.
I'm O positive.
Oh, positive. I have C minus minus in my blood.
Oh my freaking hell! Yeah, a little question that might be interesting for you, Marius. We just had a question about RCS. Do you have any idea how RCS could work out on Ubuntu Touch?
Right. So, in theory, RCS is just client side actually. So for us, we either need to find an implementation of it or write one ourselves, because RCS is basically just as Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever. It just goes over internet, and there's no special handling really for for vendors to do anything, because you, as some providers do set up their own like RCS server, but um, most of them just use Google server. We of course could easily set up our own RCS server, um, but that also requires some work. Of course, we wouldn't like. I mean, RCS is weird because it's technically kind of centralized around Google
Mm,
to some degree, but it might be different now that Apple is joining the gang. Maybe there is more power behind it and more
yeah,
like a different central server than Google.
possibly. Yeah, that sounds very interesting for our use cases, because we want to provide a privacy focused, privacy, like, not only focused, but at least privacy respecting thing here, so that yeah, it would be cool if we can somehow solve that. But I'm very well aware that on the Halium side, at least, there are RCS daemons that already take on some tasks that we had to, on the Pixel 3a at least, we had to disable so that regular MMS work now.
Yeah, but
But
we,
yeah,
we
we could. Yeah.
we can use the vendor provided binaries. That is true. But then they would be again device specific, as we do with VoLT. Of course,
Mm,
that could work as a short term solution. But I think RCS compared to VoLT is it's a lot simpler protocol. So that's probably something we could do client side, like completely client side.
okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Oh,
It would be cool if we can get this ball rolling.
Yeah,
If someone has an idea, please just send us information about this, or if you even are willing to implement it yourself, please get in touch with us. I would say.
yeah. Knock on the door on Telegram, the forum, any way possible. On UBports.com if you click the join the community link. Uh, so people will go back to you and we'll try to help you out the best we can.
Mhm.
I mean, just
Yeah.
a quick Google search. It seems like Google has made a one in Node.js and also one in Python.
Talking about Node.js earlier today.
Yeah,
For
I saw
Marius,
that.
who joined later, I basically brought Node.js to the open store. So there we go.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
So call to Node.js developers. You're welcome.
All right.
We have a
There's another.
third question. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. You take it. You started.
Okay. Third question from the deaf guy. Are there any plans to add support for passkeys?
Well,
And
passkeys. Yeah, hard to pull off. I'm not really. Are you aware of any changes that are required, Apple or Marius, to make passkeys a thing? because they're very Apple and Google centric also. And yeah.
I mean, I saw that, speaking of passkey, I saw that Bitwarden has done some work there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we can use since they are open source. I don't, if I'm not mistaken, Bitwarden is actually C#, so that might be hard, but
We're still able to read it and re-implement it in C++, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, I read the thing maybe a month ago about this news about Bitwarden, and yeah, so we have hope on this front, but yeah, passkey is really complicated, and
Yeah.
if you're not within the consortiums that put it out, it will be hard to implement, and it's also reliant on the web browser. So it will have probably implication with Morph or the Qt web engine or any other method. So I don't know.
If WebKit has the passkeys features not in the operating system on iOS, but in WebKit itself, maybe it's already there. I have not seen it, but I could take a look and report back the next time. I'm not aware of anything like that in WebKit, but possibly it's there. I don't want to put out too high of a hope here, but just
yeah, and Fuse team just commented that passkeys are storable in KeePass6a. So yeah, so that might be also a way to do this. But I think nowadays the web engine wants to rely on a reliable source, a trusted source on the hardware side. So it has to be able to communicate with a secure chip on the device. We can hack it around with using a KeePass, but I don't know how it will be. Yeah, how streamlined it could be. I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah. Should we go over to the next question? We're running out of time already, but
yeah,
we should take the next two. I have a couple of questions. This one is by Saf Friddle, S.A. Friddle, or whatever. I have a couple of questions. Are there any plans to add OVPN imports to Ubuntu Touch for VPN importing anytime soon? And the second one is there a new version going to be Ubuntu Touch 2404, or is it going to be OTA 5? And when it's tentative release date? So to the first question, I'm not sure. Do you have any ads to OpenVPN imports? I thought we had something along those lines asked a lot of times, but I'm not sure if it's completely there yet. I don't use OpenVPN, so I don't know. Do you know?
Yeah, I think we have an application that allows VPN, but I'm not sure if it supports OVPN.
Right.
So maybe. Oh, my battery
Works in the
is
terminal,
dying.
but not in the GUI, says Fuse Team here. Works in the terminal, not in the graphical user interface. So there we go.
Okay.
Okay, and the second one is there will be an OTA 5 based on Focal, just not ready for Noble yet. But we will see what happens with that in the future, and we will keep you updated for sure. Okay, last question before we head out.
Yeah, last question from Kimo. It's a long question, but a short answer. So they say, thank you first for your great efforts and the sacrifices made. I have no request other than an integrated messaging application, even if only partially. I encourage Axolotl too, but it lacks a lot of work. With thanks to those who run it and the Delta Chat application, I think it is the alternative with many advanced features, and both of them lack instant alerts, I think notification. I hope for more encouragement. So yeah, basically, the one that is the most feature complete is Teleport, which is a client for Telegram. And we know that we are lacking some more diversity in the messaging applications, but sadly, we need more developers and a way also to integrate with our notification stream, let's say. That's a problem with Axolot because Signal doesn't want to integrate our servers to push notification. And also the Delta, how it's called? I don't
Delta
remember.
chat.
Delta chat. Yeah, Delta chat is, yeah, it's an interesting one. I tried it out, and yeah, but it's just an email. You just put it in an app form. So yeah, that's interesting, the concept of it. And I don't know what is in the background also, but I will dig a little deeper on the data chat thing.
Very nice. Very nice. So I think that's about it for this fine little episode. Anything that you want to add here?
Not on my end.
We just have a message from FuseTeam saying Signal notifications could work through unified push.
Oh yeah, look at this. Yeah,
maybe something interesting to search. Yeah.
Oh, look
Thanks,
at that.
FuseTeam.
FuseTeam helping us out as always.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, so I think that's about it for this fine little episode. Thanks, everyone.
No, for the last, this one. It's not a final episode.
No.
It's the first of a long series. We will be there for hundreds of years.
I said
our
fine
children will be
little.
there.
I said fine little episode.
Oh,
not fine.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Going on a rampage. Well, thanks everyone for watching and listening in, and I really hope that you enjoyed it as well. And we'll see each other on the next episode, probably in 2 weeks. Until then, take care and watch out and don't hurt yourselves.
Yeah.
Bye.
What?
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.